Joe Rogan didn't just say a name, he detonated a grenade. In the middle of a laid-back podcast, between the usual laughs and wild stories, he let something slip that has the entire internet screaming one question. What did Erika Kirk really tell Charlie's parents, and was it all a lie? Because this wasn't some vague hint, or harmless joke. Joe's voice dropped. The room went dead quiet. And then he said it. Erika told Charlie's parents something that wasn't true, and she knows it. In that split second, you can hear his co-host freeze. You can feel the tension. It's like Joe realized too late that he'd just exposed a secret that was never supposed to leave that family. Within hours, that tiny moment exploded into the biggest digital wildfire of the year. Clips ripped from the episode. Frame-by-frame breakdowns. Lip readers, body language experts, anonymous insiders all swearing they know what went down. TikTok detectives are convinced this isn't just drama, it's a full-blown cover-up involving money, power, and a lie so big it could shatter the Kirk family from the inside. And the most chilling part. Erika's silence. No denial. No explanation. No, that's taken out of context. Nothing. Joe Rogan has opened a door he might not be able to close. Erika Kirk is being dragged across every platform. Charlie is caught in the crossfire. And whatever was whispered behind closed doors to his parents, that secret is now dangling over all of them like a ticking bomb. The moment Joe Rogan's accidental revelation hit the airwaves, the internet didn't just react, it ruptured. People weren't replaying the episode for laughs or deep conversations anymore. They were rewinding one single 5-second moment where Joe's voice dropped, his expression tightened, and he uttered the sentence that set the digital world on fire. Erika told Charlie's parents something that wasn't true, and she knows it. Viewers swear they heard something else beneath his words. Not gossip. Not humor. Not a slip-up. Something heavier. Something like a man who'd seen receipts he should never have been shown. And within hours, millions were dissecting the clip like a crime scene. They slowed it down. Zoomed in on his eyes. Analyzed the tremor in his tone. And that's when the first leak detonated across Reddit like a dropped match in a dry forest. A mysterious screenshot appeared from a throwaway account claiming to be a Turning Point insider. It didn't reveal much, but the caption hit like dynamite. This goes deeper than Joe said. Much deeper. That was enough. Theories erupted instantly. Comment sections turned into riots. TikTok detectives started connecting dots nobody even knew existed. And while the internet spiraled, a second leak dropped in a private Telegram channel, giving the world its first real glimpse of what Erika had allegedly told Charlie's parents. Inside the folder titled Kirk Truth Dump were screenshots of messages where Erika claimed a major donor had pulled out because of Charlie's parents. She accused them of interfering, undermining, sabotaging. The tone was sharp, emotional, almost weaponized. It didn't read like a casual update. It read like a strategic strike. But beneath those screenshots was something even more explosive. An email from the same donor's office, friendly, cheerful, and completely unaware of any supposed drama. The donor hadn't pulled out at all. No tension. No frustration. No withdrawal. For the first time, the public had a taste of what Joe might have been referring to. And suddenly his tone in that viral clip made perfect, horrific sense. As the internet absorbed the implications, another leak spread. A supposed text message from someone close to the Kirk family claiming the donor lie wasn't about money at all. It was about control. They were asking too many questions, the message read. She panicked. But almost immediately, another insider contradicted that narrative. They insisted Erika's lie was an act of desperation, not manipulation, because she was trying to protect Charlie from something far worse. Something that happened behind closed doors during a private meeting last year. Something he never wanted his parents to know. That theory hit like a meteor. Suddenly Erika wasn't just a villain. She was a guard dog. A shield. A woman holding the line between her husband and a truth that could shatter his public image. Then everything changed again. At 4:07 a.m., a 12-second audio clip began circulating on TikTok. The voice was shaky, emotional, unmistakably Erika's. "I didn't mean to lie to them. I just didn't want them to see him that way." Those words froze the internet. What way? What exactly happened in that private meeting that was so devastating? She'd rather manufacture a donor crisis than let Charlie's own parents know the truth. Speculation mutated into frenzy. And while the internet clawed for answers, another account, Kirk Witness, posted a chilling statement. Joe didn't reveal everything. He only revealed the part that couldn't be hid anymore. Now people weren't just suspicious. They were terrified. Terrified of what Joe knew. Terrified of what he almost said. Terrified of what he might still reveal. Then came the rumor that Joe had been shown a folder of messages, emails, and recordings weeks before the episode. According to one alleged producer, Joe wasn't trying to expose Erika, he was frustrated from watching everyone pretend. He wasn't gossiping, the producer claimed. He was warning them. And then, in the middle of the chaos, a fan caught Joe outside his comedy club in Austin. The shaky clip showed Joe pausing, looking worn out, before muttering, "That situation is messier than people think. Just wait." Those two words plunged the internet into freefall. But the waiting didn't last. Because the next leak shattered everything. Insider Vault released a series of messages, allegedly between Charlie and a Turning Point board member. One from Charlie read, "My parents can't know what I said. If they do, everything changes." Another message replied, "Erika's covering for you, but this isn't sustainable." And then the line that scorched every platform, "If Joe found out, it's only a matter of time." Now the scandal wasn't about Erika's lie anymore. It was about Charlie's secret. What had he said? Why did his parents need to be kept in the dark? And why was Joe Rogan the one who knew the truth? Detectives on social media unearthed footage from a Turning Point live stream recorded 2 days before Joe's infamous comment. Charlie looked shaken. Distracted. Not himself. Viewers noticed him stumbling over sentences, something he never did. At the time, people joked he needed coffee. Now they said he needed a crisis manager. One clip went viral where Charlie said, "Sometimes the people closest to you aren't ready for the truth." People lost their minds. Was he referring to Joe? To his parents? To Erika? Nobody knew. And no one was ready for what dropped next. A political commentator connected to Joe posted, "People are looking at the wrong lie. The donor story isn't the one that matters." Immediately social media erupted with panic. What other lie? Was Erika hiding something even bigger? Or was Joe exposing a deeper corruption inside Turning Point itself? Theories spiraled out of control, but silence fell again when the next recording dropped, this time from a source calling themselves Proof Pending. In the barely audible clip, Erika whispered, "They won't forgive him. Not after what he said about them." The internet froze. Erika wasn't protecting Charlie from donors. She was protecting him from his own parents. The scandal inverted instantly. Joe's frustration made sense. Erika's lie made sense. The donor drama was just camouflage. But the biggest crack in the story came from a leaked email between Turning Point staff. Damage control is failing. If the Rogan clip gets connected to the meeting incident, within minutes, TikTok detectives began tearing the audio apart. YouTubers rushed to live stream breakdowns. Twitter threads spun into conspiracy webs before anyone could blink. And then a political commentator with ties to Turning Point dropped a nuclear statement on his podcast. The meeting Erika's referring to involved a meltdown so catastrophic, the staff was ordered to pretend it never happened. He refused to elaborate. But he didn't need to. The internet took care of the rest. Suddenly theories bubbled like boiling water. Some said Charlie lashed out at donors. Others believed he confessed something life-altering. A few whispered that he said something unforgivable about his family. Then a new leak hit Reddit from someone claiming to be a former Turning Point staffer. This wasn't about donors, the post read. This was personal. Deeply personal. The internet snapped in half. What kind of personal disaster would force Erika to lie strategically to Charlie's own parents? What happened in that meeting? And how did Joe Rogan find out? But the next leak flipped the entire story upside down. A supposed transcript from a Rogan producer began circulating, claiming Joe didn't expose Erika out of malice. He did it out of frustration. He wasn't trying to drag her, the producer allegedly wrote. He was tired of watching the charade. Suddenly, Joe wasn't a villain. He wasn't even a whistleblower. He was the guy who finally cracked under the weight of secrets. Then another crack in the dam appeared. A fan caught Joe outside his Austin comedy club. The shaky video showed Joe stepping out of his SUV when someone yelled, "What's really going on with Erika?" Joe paused. His expression dropped. And then he muttered, "That situation is messier than people think." Just wait. 2 words, just wait, became the biggest warning shot of the year. And nobody had to wait long. At 12:03 p.m., Inside Vault released a series of text messages, allegedly between Charlie and a Turning Point board member. Charlie wrote, "My parents can't know what I said. If they do, everything changes." The board member responded, "Erika is covering for you. But this isn't sustainable." Then the message that melted the internet, "If Joe found out, it's only a matter of time." Those words turned everything into a countdown. If Joe knew, then the truth wasn't just dangerous, it was inevitable. Now Erika's lie wasn't the headline. Charlie's secret was. And whatever he said in that meeting was big enough to spark a coordinated cover-up, a fake donor story, and a panic wave across Turning Point's upper ranks. Detectives online worked overtime. Redditors assembled timelines, video references, deleted posts, cross-checked interviews. TikTok creators posted frame-by-frame analysis of Charlie's micro-expressions. That's when someone dug up a Turning Point live stream recorded 2 days before Joe's infamous comment. Charlie looked exhausted. Not physically, emotionally. His voice shook. He misspoke repeatedly. He looked like a man who'd been hit with consequences he wasn't prepared to face. At one point, he said something that fans had ignored until now. Sometimes the people closest to you aren't ready for the truth. The internet screamed. Was he talking about Erika? His parents? Joe Rogan? Or was he talking about himself? Then a commentator close to Joe posted a now viral message. People are obsessed with the wrong lie. The donor story is nothing. Look deeper. Immediately, social media erupted with 1,000 questions. What was the right lie? What was buried beneath Erika's frantic cover story? And if Joe knew part of it, why didn't he reveal the rest? But then a recording dropped that flipped the entire scandal inside out. Proof Pending posted another voice clip. In it, Erika whispered, they won't forgive him. Not after what he said about them. Those 7 words hit like a detonation. What he said about them. About his own parents. Suddenly the scandal wasn't about donors, power struggles, or finances. It was about a family implosion happening in real time. Now Erika's lie looked less like manipulation, and more like desperation. She wasn't trying to fool his parents. She was trying to protect them from a truth that would shatter their relationship with their son. Joe's comment wasn't a betrayal. It was a symptom of something deeper. But the darkest twist landed just hours later. A staff email from Turning Point USA leaked. Damage control is failing. If the Rogan clip gets connected to the meeting incident, we're done. I don't care what Erika said. Joe wasn't supposed to know. That final sentence electrified the entire internet. Joe wasn't supposed to know. Which meant someone inside the Kirk orbit leaked the truth directly to him. Someone in their strategy meetings. Someone with access. Someone who wanted the whole thing to blow wide open. Sabotage wasn't a theory anymore. It was the only explanation. Someone inside Erika and Charlie's inner circle set this nightmare in motion, and used Joe Rogan's platform as the detonator. The internet lost its collective mind. Who betrayed them? Why? What was their endgame? Was this political? Personal? Revenge? A power grab? Or something else entirely? Every theory became a wildfire. Every platform melted under the weight of speculation. Clips of Erika's trembling voice spread like smoke. Joe's expression after mentioning her name went viral again, now framed as guilt he didn't know he had revealed on camera. And as all of this unfolded, Charlie remained silent. Silent in a way that felt less like strategy and more like fear. People zoomed into every video of him from the past month, convinced they could see stress hiding behind his smile. Some said he looked haunted. Others said he looked angry. A few thought he looked betrayed. But one thing became crystal clear across the entire internet. If part 1 was the spark, and this was the explosion, then what comes next isn't just fallout. It's the truth. The truth Joe wasn't supposed to know. The truth Erika tried to bury under lies. The truth Charlie's parents saw in that meeting. And the truth the internet is about to uncover, piece by terrifying piece. Because whatever Charlie said in that room, it wasn't just bad. It was catastrophic. And the final unraveling is already on its way. By the 3rd day, the entire internet had turned into an investigation board. Every YouTuber, podcaster, Reddit detective, and Twitter theorist was chasing one thing: the truth Erika tried to bury and the secret Joe Rogan wasn't supposed to know. Everyone felt it. Something much bigger was coming. And then it happened. At 2:11 p.m., a 12-minute video titled, "The Erika Files: What Joe Rogan Couldn't Say on Air" exploded across X. It wasn't polished. It wasn't professional. But it was devastating. It included leaked memos, audio clips, screenshots, and the most alarming part, a supposed email from a Rogan producer to Joe titled, "About the Erika story, we need to talk before next episode." In the body of the email, the producer allegedly warned Joe that they had confirmed private legal action brewing related to the Kirk incident. And attached to that email was the biggest bomb yet. A transcript of a voicemail from Erika to an unidentified associate. "I didn't lie to hurt anyone," she said, her voice shaking. "I lied to keep them from finding out what really happened with Charlie last year." The internet froze. What happened last year? Why were his parents involved? Why was Erika shielding him? And why was Joe in the middle of it? Before anyone could digest it, a second anonymous source came forward. this time claiming to have spoken directly with journalists at The Hollywood Reporter. According to the source, Erika's lie wasn't about donors. Page 6 reported that Joe Rogan's legal team had received a cease and desist letter from Erika's representatives demanding he retract his statement and avoid further defamatory commentary. Joe didn't retract anything. In his very next episode, he opened the show with a single line that shook the entire entertainment world. "If you send me a cease and desist, I assume I'm getting close to the truth." Silence in the studio. Explosions online. The hashtag #RoganKnows trended for 48 straight hours. But the chaos was only warming up. Because deep in a small Rumble channel almost nobody followed, a new leak surfaced, a secret audio recording from a private charity gala months earlier. In it, Erika was speaking quietly, emotionally, to a friend. "They don't understand what I was protecting," she said. "If they saw what happened in that meeting with Charlie, they'd never forgive him. I had to give them something else to focus on." The internet stopped breathing. What did Charlie do? What did he say? And why were his own parents the ones who would never forgive him? Theories began spiraling into darker territory. Personal fight. Emotional breakdown. Betrayal. Confession. A clash so severe it fractured the family. Nobody knew. And then came the next twist. A follow-up leak. This time an alleged transcript of messages between Erika and Charlie's father hit the web. It was bad. It was brutal. And it changed everything again. Charlie's father allegedly wrote, "Erika, you think you're protecting him, but you're not. If people found out what he said in that meeting, it's over." Erika replied, "I made up the donor story to save him. And to save you. Don't push me, Mr. Kirk." The internet exploded. Erika wasn't just covering for Charlie. She was covering for the entire family. And the lie wasn't leverage. It was a shield. A desperate, last-second shield. But then came the next aftershock, one nobody expected. Celebrities began reacting. Lex Fridman tweeted, "Honesty has a cost. Sometimes it burns down the wrong house." People thought he was siding with Joe. Then Elon Musk responded, "Better a burned house than one full of lies." And that response set the internet on fire. Meanwhile, Erika's silence, the silence that had fueled suspicion, began to look different. Not guilt. Not manipulation. Fear. Pure fear. Even Charlie's parents began acting strange. They unfollowed Erika. Deleted old photos. Made their own accounts private. And then Erika's close friend, influencer Amanda Halley, went live on Instagram crying. "Erika's not a liar," she sobbed. "She's broken. She told me everything. If you knew the real reason, you'd be crying too." The internet begged her to explain. She refused. But she did say one thing, one sentence that detonated every platform: "When you find out what Charlie did, you'll understand why she lied." That was it. Pandemonium. People stopped blaming Erika. People stopped blaming Joe. People stopped guessing. Now everyone wanted the same thing, the truth about Charlie. Then, while the world was spiraling, another leak appeared, this time claiming to come from a hacker who accessed Erika's iCloud. Screenshots. Conversations. Terrifying context. In one message, Erika wrote, "They'll never forgive me if they find out. I told them the story again. I had no choice." A contact labeled MM replied, "Lies collapse harder than truth. And this one is collapsing now." Screenshots showed the messages were recent. If true, Erika was still lying, actively, right before Joe exposed her. But the biggest shock came when Joe himself accidentally escalated everything. Talking off-air to a producer, he was caught saying, "If she doesn't talk, I will. The internet will do the rest." That clip leaked. It spread. It detonated. People accused Joe of psychological warfare. Others said he was done playing nice. A growing faction said he was being manipulated by insiders with their own agendas. And then, finally, Erika broke her silence. Through a statement released to People magazine, "I now have reason to believe this was never an accident. I was targeted. And I will be responding publicly very soon." The internet lost its mind. Responding publicly meant one thing: she had her own receipts. Rumors swirled that Erika possessed recordings, screenshots, videos, even footage from a secret meeting Joe didn't know existed. A countdown began. And then came the final twist. A mysterious account, Erika Backup, uploaded a 20-second teaser of her upcoming statement. Erika sat in a dimly lit room. Her face was pale, exhausted, but steady. She said 4 words: "He set me up." The clip ended. The internet detonated into chaos. Was Joe the villain? Was Erika reclaiming the narrative? Was Charlie hiding the real scandal? Was someone inside the family pulling the strings? Nobody knows. But one thing is certain. The truth is coming. And when it drops, it will end careers, shatter alliances, break a family, and expose whoever dragged Joe Rogan into a war he didn't realize he was fighting. If you're still here, still breathing after everything that just unfolded, then you already understand what's at stake. This isn't just another celebrity feud, not just another scandal to scroll past. This is a story shifting in real time, a story with moving pieces, hidden players, and consequences that no one, not Joe, not Erika, not Charlie, not even the people pulling the strings, can outrun now. And the next reveal could drop tonight, tomorrow, or in the middle of some unrelated live stream where one sentence changes everything again. But here's the truth: if you're not subscribed, if your notifications aren't turned on, you're going to miss the moment everything collapses. You're going to wake up and realize the internet detonated without you, that the clip you needed is already buried, the evidence already scrubbed, the accounts gone dark while the truth slipped past. And in a story built on leaks, on whispers, on vanishing receipts, missing even one update means missing the entire point. So this is your warning. Don't wait. Don't assume you'll stumble across the next reveal by accident. Hit that like button so this story pushes further, because the more eyes on it, the harder it becomes for anyone to bury the truth. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications, so you'll hear the second the next leak drops. Because one thing is certain, the most explosive part of this scandal hasn't surfaced yet. And when it does, you'll want to be the first to know.